All right. I hope everybody enjoyed the Sabbath today. Truly a blessing all the time. Um, this is a recap on the 70 weeks of Daniel lesson. First and foremost, what I was trying to explain to you before about the 70 weeks of Daniel was that Daniel the prophet, when he went into the Babylonian captivity under Nebuchadnezzar, he was just a kid. He was a child, a teenager, or whatever. Well, at a certain point, uh, what I read to you in Daniel 9, where Daniel read the books of Jeremiah, that the captivity would only be 70 years. But Daniel was under the Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon, and then he was still in captivity under the Medes and Persians. So the rulership that he was under had changed hands, and he's like, well, this captivity should be over according to the books of Jeremiah. Why is it thus? But it's something else in Jeremiah 27, verse 7, where it says, all nations are going to serve Babylon, which is spiritual Babylon, because Nebuchadnezzar died. His sons died. So that's Babylon on a spiritual sense. And let me show you something, because let me see. All right. Because after the Medo-Persian Empire, after the Babylonian Empire, you had the Medes and the Persians, right? Well, Cyrus, the king of the Medes or the Persians, he was prophesied of in the book of Isaiah way before he even came on the scene. Isaiah was a Hebrew prophet who was believed to have lived about 700 years before the birth of Jesus Christ. Okay. So, but Isaiah prophesied about Cyrus. When did Cyrus come on the scene? Let's see. This is just show you that, because in 2 Kings 17 and so on, like 2 Kings 19, you got the Assyrian captivity, which was approximately 100 years before the Babylonian captivity. The Assyrian captivity was in 722, 721 BC. All right. So that being the case, the Assyrian captivity was 100 years before the Babylonian captivity, and Isaiah prophesied about Cyrus, which was to come, and Cyrus's reign was in 550 or something like that, and in 539, he, in that scripture of Isaiah, prophesying about him that he was going to allow Israel to return and build the temple, which he did. Okay, so in the book of Daniel it says, know therefore and understand that they're going for the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. That's 69 weeks. 69 times 7 is 483. At 458, one of the Medo-Persian kings put it in writing for them to stop keeping Israel from building the temple and to go ahead and build it. And they finally got it done. And from that point on, from 458 BC to 25 to 26 AD is unto the Messiah. The Messiah was anointed between 25 to 26 AD. 26 and a half maybe, because Jesus' ministry was 3.5 years. So if he was anointed at 26 AD, 3 years later, or 3.5 years later, he died. And recorded history says that he died in 30 AD, which is in the same ballpark from 26 AD, 3.5 years later, 30 AD, he died. So just hope they'll try to clear some things up. Let me read something to you though right quick. This is Atlas of the Bible again. And this talking about the Assyrian captivity. Says if the Assyrian soldiers had little trouble getting to Samaria, they found this city on its solitary hill exceedingly difficult to take. The siege lasted 3 years, one of the longest recorded sieges in antiquity. And though Shalmaneser died and was replaced by Sargon II, the change in monarchs made little difference to Israel. During the siege, suffering increased daily, and desperation mounted by the hour until the Assyrians finally breached the walls and took the city. The year was 721. Okay. This is confirming in the Bible. 2 Kings 17. Says, in the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. That's the 9 tribes, or the northern kingdom. Verse 2, and he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria. Just read about him in the history book. And Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. Just read that in the history book. Verse 6, in the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria and placed them in Halah and in Habor by the river of Gozan and in the cities of the Medes. 722, 721 BC. So, now like in is it Daniel chapter 12? Like in the last book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 8, it says, and I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end time prophecy. Because, a lot of Old Testament brothers, they like a kick against the New Testament. They don't want to acknowledge the Messiah in the New Testament as being JC, as they say, Jesus Christ. And, even though he fulfilled it to the letter, they tend to get things mixed up with the Jesus of the Bible with Caesar Borgia, that picture of a so-called white man. No, that ain't the Jesus of the Bible, okay? That ain't the one that fulfilled prophecy to the letter. So, I had some timelines, but I would have to put a whole bunch of pictures and stuff. And, I'm really on borrowed time right now. I'm supposed to be asleep. But, yeah, if you have any questions, make a comment in the link. Make